welcome to the Ineffable Else. Here we discuss the hidden energies which play a huge role in our lives. These are the archetypes, which present at different times on different days through different people. Stories as old as time, with new flavors of expression. If you enjoy this exploration, this investigation, please like the video and share it with your loved ones. And let's open up the discussion about astrology as something more than just horoscope, more than just sun sign astrology, but something showing the absolute uniqueness of each individual person. So please subscribe to the channel and contact me for a reading. Lots of love. Yeah. Welcome to Leo season. Welcome to confidence. Welcome to the eradication of doubt. Welcome to MySpace. Welcome to self-assertion based in a deeper knowing. Welcome to following your path which you have been shown. Welcome to humility and knowing your own shine and not needing to push that out onto people, and having that fire in your belly that keeps you going, keeps you moving, keeps you centered, and keeps you always present and always knowing. Forever and forever growing. At this point in the year, we've been through Aries and Taurus, Gemini and Cancer. These are all very intimate, personal signs, and now we're getting to the climax, to the big finish, the big crescendo of ego, which is Leo. So what the fuck are you doing with your ego at the moment? How much is it leading you? How much are you able to play with it and not take it too seriously? How much are you able to shine in a way which is inspiring to yourself and others? And how much are you able to not take a joke? This is also about fifth house themes. Themes of play, themes of joy. What things are you taking too seriously? And what things should you really be taking seriously which you're not, in favor of just playing? See what is happening in your chart at the moment. This isn't about the collective. As we move into Virgo, and from Virgo into Libra, this is the end of the personal and into the collective. So how selfish are you going to be going forward? Are you able to feel the embarrassment of being so self-centered? Because it's not right. Are you able to feel the absolute humiliation of only putting others first? It's not right. Has to be something in the middle. There has to be a middle ground. And it has to do with standing your ground. The lion with the big mane, the big male, he doesn't have to do any of the actual killing. So there's a theme I want you to engage with about showing your teeth, but not using them. Show people you have guts. Show people you have substance. Show people that you have a backbone. And then you don't actually have to fight. You don't have to kick, you don't have to scream, you don't have to use any manipulation tactics in any way. You just are. You've got your structure set up, and your boat is seaworthy, and you know it. And for that reason, you're a seaworthy person, and then people will come to you. Do the work, get it out there. Don't expect everything to come to you, but equally, don't pander to others, don't put yourself lower than others, and don't let people walk all over you like a doormat, because that won't get you anywhere in the long term either. I say this stuff as if I'm talking to two separate groups of people, for example, the aggressors and the submissives, The truth is, within us we have all of these dynamics, and with one person we may take on one role and with another we take on a different role. So notice when you're shifting into one of these two dualistic and unnecessary patterns of behavior and identities which don't help. Where are you being brave? Where are you thinking outside the box? Where are you still in your comfort zone, and where could you really put yourself out there and be seen and be ridiculed for it and be ready for the ridicule? Prepare yourself for the ridicule and it probably won't come. Really feel into that. Feel into your worst nightmare. Feel into that situation where you go to school and you got no clothes on. Feel into the nightmares that you have. Feel into losing your teeth. And then remember that you do have teeth and you can use them, and you can also choose not to use them. The weak person is the person who doesn't believe they have anything. They don't believe they have any weapons at their disposal, and therefore they beg for scraps. Or you could choose to admit the fact that you do have teeth, you do have weapons, you do have strength and courage and the ability to say no, and yet you choose to say yes. You choose not to use your teeth. You choose to participate. And whilst participating, you give off the energy that everybody knows, but they have some teeth, so we're not going to take advantage of this person. Then from that position you can be your truest self and as loving as you want, and you don't need to be insecure about the idea that potentially if you give too much love, you may not receive it back. If you give too much time, then it may not be appreciated. These are all things which don't need to matter if you are standing there in your power and you know that at any moment you could say no, and that no would have weight behind it. It's not the kind of no which you can say 10 times and no one would even hear you've said it. It's no means no. That level of consent and that level of rejection where there is no blurred line, there is an absolute 100% yes and a 100% no, and you know what you feel. You're not waiting for somebody else to tell you what to feel or what's okay to feel. You're 100% there, and you know. Because you know yourself and you know your inherent value, and you know that you could sit back like the lion in his pride and not do anything and still be a valued and valuable human being. You don't need to scurry around for scraps of affection from anyone. You don't need to be chasing people to pay you back, to fulfill their obligations or their promises. You will have that ability within yourself that people respect you because you respect yourself. The weak lion, the weak Leo, is the person who's on stage. Look at me, love me, love me, look at me, love me, love me. What can I do to please you? What can I do to get you to see me? And it mixes and melds with whatever other sign you have going on. It mixes with the Leo within you and gives it that particular flavour, depending on, if it's a Scorpio, it's going to have a feeling of betrayal and a feeling of desperation of trying to get deeper connections that just don't manifest. If it's a Virgo, it's going to be this sensation that I need to just give and give and give and give to other people and never get anything returned. Self-sacrificing, I'm a martyr, doesn't that make me valuable? If it's a Cancer, then it's I'm going to develop a perfect environment and a perfect home, and everybody can see it, and I want everybody to feel comfortable, and I want everybody to know. It's always giving from an empty cup with that perspective. And instead, the Leo is the leader, it's the inspiration, it's the sun. The sun rules Leo. So feel your own sun that you have. Feel what are the shadow aspects of this, and what are the beautiful things that you contribute, because we sit in a room together and we don't want everyone to be this Mick Jagger. We all want to have our own difference in flavour and texture and colour and form and shape and smell, and everything totally unique to the individual. And we can all shine, and we all shine in slightly different ways. But the key thing to remember is have pride in yourself for who you are. This doesn't mean you have to go out on the street and wave a flag. I love myself, look at me. It's one of those things you can even have with yourself in secret. Like, yeah, love myself. One of those cheeky little crushes you have. You can have that on yourself. You don't need to tell anyone about it. You've just got it. You've just got it. You've got it like, oh wow. I really enjoy my company. I really like being me. I like my body. I like how it feels. I can do these things. I can do like it's great. And it's nothing anyone can take away from you. Wow. Power. But not the kind of power where you need to lord it over somebody else. Not the kind of power that is weak and dependent on another. The fable of the lion's share. So the lion gets the biggest share of the kill. Right. The lion has the ability to share. And this is the key thing to remember. When you know you can have it all, then you can give freely, and there's that feeling of abundance, and there's none of the lack mentality, and it's just there flowing out of you. And that kind of generosity is something that a lot of other signs would love to have. That level of abundance, that level of inner glowing. And the key thing that is often overlooked about Leo is that it can see the shine of another. When it's not obsessing over itself and its hair, when it actually sits back and knows that it has the mane of perfection, then it doesn't need to worry about that. Then guess what? It's able to see the shine in other people, and it's able to draw it out like a candle in the dark. It's able to light up the room and ignite the faces of other people. So we can see them more clearly, and they can see each other more clearly. And just because you're the center of attention, it doesn't mean that therefore you can't make everybody else just as included. Someone has to lead. Somebody has to be the figurehead. But that person should be humble. That person should be able to be a Mufasa, not a Scar. Because what would you get if you were king of the world, if you were queen? What kind of things would you want? Would you want diamonds and rubies and pearls? Or would you realize that you have everything, access to everything, anything you wanted, if you clicked your fingers you could have it. So therefore, where's the need for the longing? And instead you can start longing for something much more for the collective. This is moving from the personal, from the ego, from the me, into something much more shared experience. And after all, whilst one of us is in a cage, we are all in chains. We're not free until all of us are free. The lion, it leads. The lion has teeth. The lion doesn't need to use those teeth. It doesn't need to prance around. It doesn't need to have any of the real action. It is in that position of grace and dignity where it can sit back. Often this time of year we ruin ourselves. We push ourselves to the max in our shine, when we could be really taking it in and cultivating it within ourselves, instead of burning out before the summer is out. We've lost all the momentum. No, we can keep it as this, as these embers that are burning through us and take us through the coming winter. This is the abundance of the sun. When there's more than enough light and more than enough heat and more than enough hours in the day, and what do we do with them? Do we waste them getting hammered and then the next day we sleep in till 1 in the afternoon? Or could you take some of the things that you learn earlier on and bring that into now, some of the beneficial habits? Like, is it possible? Is it possible to not just follow the crowd and just be a sheep, but actually be the lion, the leader of the pack, who helps push things forward, who helps be the person glowing from inside and not just falling prey to all the addictions and all of the stories and all of the excuses that the rest of the world tries to make us believe? Can we see in ourselves and see ourselves clearly as a valued and inherently decent human being who is constantly making mistakes and many times repeating them? Can we see those mistakes for what they are without making an excuse and without bringing ourselves down because of it, but actually be able to see, this is something that's been presented before me that I could have done better next time. Like, take 2, this time with consciousness. Just this kind of game, of saying that it's a game and you can't change the past. So there's no point getting hung up on that, and there's no point creating an ego around that, and there's no point then hacking off parts of your own lioness qualities to lower yourself, to make yourself more palatable to others, to make sure that other people don't feel bad because you are feeling great. And not to believe the stories of others that you need certain substances, that you need a certain lifestyle, that you need a certain partner to be enough, when you are inherently enough. And funnily enough, when you are enough, you will attract the highest quality of substances, highest quality of people, the highest quality of relationships into your life. And that doesn't mean high-grade cocaine. That means the real stuff of life. It means suddenly you will attract the most comfortable rock of all the rocks you could have chosen, and then this one just seemed to present itself before you because you were clear, because you felt like you deserved it, because you're here on earth as everyone else, you're valuable, and therefore why should you be living in discomfort? Most of the time we're chasing comfort, trying to force ourselves to be comfortable, and then we never actually feel comfortable, even in the softest, coziest, comfiest environment. And when you're really glowing from within, your fire is lit, and you're not just surrendering to gravity all day long, but you're actually moving from an ignited place within, which means wherever you sit you feel at home. It's Pride Rock. Pride Rock. It's Pride Rock. And your pride is not just your pride inside of you, which can be damaged and hurt and shaken and broken. This is pride as in your group of lions. And this is your archetypes within you, all 12 of them that you have within you. This is your pride. You can have pride for your Aquarius opposite polar axis to Leo. You can have pride for the little baby Cancer that wants to feel. You can have pride for all of these different things that are going on within you. Meaning you don't judge them, you don't push them away, you don't suppress them. You elevate each and every one to the highest possible level without making excuses. Without saying, that's just what I'm like, I'm just like that, like that's just kind of what I do. It's like, yeah, it is what you do and what you have done. But it's also something you can change and you can elevate and you can raise up if you want to. No change is going to happen without your will. Without your absolute willpower to change, which is as hard as your head is hard. How much are you thinking, and how much are you identifying with the thoughts, and how much are the thoughts then controlling your day-to-day? How much are your labels dragging you down? I'm a mother, I can't possibly study. I'm a son, I can't possibly leave mum. I'm a girlfriend, I can't possibly be the breadwinner. There's all of these beliefs that might be hanging us, and it's not necessarily the fault of the person that's put the label on us, but we're believing it, so they're going to believe it too. So change your belief about yourself, and then that will start shifting the beliefs that other people have about you, and then that your life is not dictated by these people. Then there is no resentment forming. Then your shine is not dimmed, and then you're able to grow and glow. And at no point can you say, well, I'm not glowing because somebody else told me not to glow. It's like, no, you have teeth. You have these powers, and no one can take them from you. But you have the power to admit that you have them and then not use them in a detrimental way. And to show those teeth when you need to make sure that the balance is maintained. The order of the universe. The order of the universe does not have to be a dog-eat-dog, scrabbling around, someone playing master and someone playing victim all the time. It can be, we're all here. We've all got teeth and we all choose not to use them. And we are here with consciousness on a level. We've all got unique gifts to share, and why do we get distracted with comparison when comparison is the main thing keeping us back. Because what am I doing when I'm in comparison mode? Well, I'm not fulfilling my gifts. I'm not living up to my own gifts. I'm not using them, and neither are you. So let's stop comparing. There's enough room on the stage. There's enough stage. This is the stage. Like, there's no need for fame. Fame is this incredibly elusive and strange thing that even if you're famous, you can't feel. You just feel the negative connotations of this. When really, you're here. You've got a rock beneath you. You've got a tree above your head. You maybe even have an animal in your life who looks at you with the true eyes, which are the eyes of, oh my God, you're amazing and I love you. I love everything about you, and it's completely unconditional love. Completely unconditional love. And they say, well, they love you because of the food, but even if you stop feeding them, they're still going to love you. You see dogs go to the grave of their owner and pine and pine. No, this is love. Love does. Love has been rendered useless and stupid or a commodity when it's not. And Leo is very capable of loving. Leo has a big old heart, and when there's this much abundance in the air, you know, I've got a 14-kilogram watermelon to eat. There's more than enough sun, there's more than enough of everything, then of course there's more than enough love. This is not a contraction, this is an expansive place to be, and an expansive time of year. So let's love each other and really love ourselves, and love ourselves without making excuses. Loving ourselves knowing that the highest form of love is to get myself into a position where I don't need anything and I'm happy. I don't need anything and I'm comfortable. I find a rock and I feel at home. I feel it, I'm welcome here. I'm welcome wherever I set my foot on the ground, and every piece of lichen and moss and leaf is cheering me on. It's saying like, woo, human! Woo! We love humans! They're our biggest fans. And they give to us so much. They give us all this oxygen. They give us even the little photoplankton in the sea that we don't even see with our eyes are giving to us all the time, giving us oxygen. So these things are as easy as breathing, but we overcomplicate them. We make stories, we make masks, we make big old egos to do with weakness as well as strength. We often will identify as victim and feel comfortable there and want to defend that. So this self-inquiry thing is something you do every day for the rest of your life. Is constantly question what you do and question your motives. Why did I do that? And it doesn't have to be then going back into, well, a story from the past, and that means that I'll be like this forever. It's like, oh no, I did that again. Yeah, no, see why I did that. And what would I do differently next time? Well, I changed this behaviour, and that's what I will do next time. Because I'm not judging what I did last time, because I didn't have the consciousness, even 5 minutes ago, that I have now. Otherwise I wouldn't have done it. This is the nature of consciousness. So we've got to stop the self-judgment. Got to stop the self-criticism. And we've also got to stop ourselves from going down the route of self-destruction and then calling that freedom. Because it's not. The greatest freedom is not needing anything. Being happy with what is. Being blessed, even if you're alone. Knowing you are blessed. Knowing you are loved. Knowing anything on top of that is just a bonus. And every relationship in our life, just being able to cut through the story, cut through the drama, and just see that person's heart and see the pain. Acknowledge their pain. Not get lost in their pain. Not get lost in your own pain, and then just feel the beating heart beneath that's consistent, that is not wrapped up in any kind of story. If you had amnesia today, you wouldn't remember your past, you wouldn't remember the story, you wouldn't remember the pain. You would just have you. All of you. And everything would be new, and everything would be joyful and worthy of exploration and worthy of attention. There'd be no time to get lost in a story about the past. There'd be no time to remember that I was told I'm a bitch. I'm supposed to be a bitch. Oh no, I was told that I'm this. But none of these things are correlating. Wow. No, I'm just a free person. I'm just a free human being walking around on Earth that doesn't need anything. Doesn't need anything at all. Scary! Scary, right? Yeah. We have no idea what's in store for us, what is around the corner after we shake off these bloody shackles. Breathe deep and let out a roar.